I was going to do a video about internet addiction, but I spent all my time on Facebook instead of writing it. Anthony here for D News and the internet. I have never had a more complicated love-hate relationship with anything. YouTube holes, Tumblr holes. I go to check my Facebook messages for a second and I come out 2 hours later. What makes the internet so addictive? Well, there's this theory that internet addiction comes from the same bit of our brains that loves gambling. Pull a slot machine's handle and you lose most of the time, but every once in a while you hit a jackpot, and our brains look for patterns and they register every tiny difference. It's a survival instinct. And when the unexpected thing we experience is some sort of win, we get this positive chemical feedback from our brain. And the internet is the same way. Most of the stuff scrolling by in your feed is terrible, but that makes every amazing corgi video that comes by so much more exciting. And over time, our brain starts to associate the internet as a whole with that tiny feeling of victory. It's like Pavlov's dogs. We begin to drool at the possibility of good internet. And that's why you can't help but look when you hear the IM bell or the new mail noise. And if you share a great video, that great corgi video, and people like it or they reblog it, you get addicted to the positive social reinforcement. We talked a bit about that in the video we did about fear of missing out. Another problem is that the internet doesn't really have any boundaries. I mean, multitasking is awesome, but when everything is happening at once, it becomes hard to draw a line at where to stop using your computer or looking at your phone. You're in the middle of checking Facebook and you get an email. You're finishing the email when you get a Twitter mention. Studies show that willpower can be exhausted, sort of like a muscle, and cognitive tasks can be extremely exhausting. So here you are, sitting in front of a screen that's giving you endless things to think about and emotionally react to, and your willpower just kind of wears out and you keep clicking around. If your internet addiction is particularly bad, hi, hello, my name is Anthony Carboni, it's recommended that you make strict boundaries on your time. I use this Pomodoro timer that makes me work in 20-minute intervals and then gives me 5 minutes off to bum around the internet doing whatever I want. I don't follow it particularly, but I should. Internet addiction is so prevalent that it's actually mentioned in the newly released DSM-5, that manual for mental health professionals. It's not classified as a disorder yet, but it is recommended for further research. I say get on it, science, because it feels crazy real to me. How bad is your addiction? Be honest. This is a safe place. And not to make things worse if it's particularly bad, but I would love it if you subscribed here for more D News.